Hello, great souls. So good to be with you today for our Yoga for Everybody Chair Yoga Flow class. Let's begin together with a centering practice. So coming into a comfortable seat for your body, take a few deep breaths in and out, and if it's comfortable, you can close the eyes. If the palms of the hands are resting on the thighs, see if turning them upward feels comfortable for you. Either direction is fine. The upward turn of the hands is a pose of receptivity. So it can be helpful at the start of practice, but always defer to what the body needs. Receptivity is in the heart and in our consciousness. Lifting the inward gaze upward, drawing energy here to the sixth chakra, the point between the eyebrows. Yogananda called this the doorway to infinity. Let's see if you can imagine an inner doorway opening, allowing your soul nature to sail. One of our affirmations, my soul rises like a weightless balloon, soaring through skies of inner freedom. My soul rises like a weightless balloon, soaring through skies of inner freedom. Take some deep, full breaths in and out, welcoming this quality of freedom, soaring. Through skies of inner freedom. A few more deep breaths, relaxing the belly as you breathe. Mentally affirming, I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free. Then bringing the palms of the hands together to the heart center, honoring the divine nature within you, your own soul, and that same divine nature within all beings. With Namaste. Namaste. Okay, so I thought as a theme for our yoga practice today, befriending the body might be a nice theme. Chair yoga practice is really a practice absolutely of befriending ourselves, welcoming the truth of where the physical body is in this moment and making allowances for that, kind of working with the body in a compassionate way and kind of discovering as you practice what is your body capable of today. What, when you're looking at a movement, considering how to stay dynamic in your practice. So what I mean by that is if I make too many allowances for my body, I can kind of go to sleep and check out, right? So if I accommodate a pose or I give myself support in my practice that I don't really need, the body doesn't really need, then I can just kind of go somewhere else. I'm not really paying attention. So sometimes it's referred to as playing the edge in yoga, noticing with a stretch, how far can I go in that stretch? And often back off a little bit and then stay to the point where you feel engaged. That's what I mean by dynamic. So the befriending piece is about really attitude. How do we hold our bodies? I often will hear from yoga students, certainly maybe a newer student coming to a chair yoga class, I can hear an attitude within them of, it's not really yoga. I've had students say to me, they'll come for chair yoga and say, until I can really practice yoga. I'm chuckling because in Ananda yoga, it's all yoga, right? The chair yoga is not a lesser yoga. It's a different way of practicing yoga, sometimes more dynamic, depending on how we come to it. But part of how we receive the benefits that are offered in the practice is the way we hold ourselves in the experience. So if I have an inner story, an inner narrative of judgment about my body, and I just throughout the practice encounter disappointment, oh, my balance is off today. Right? Sometimes we'll use the word bad. Oh, my balance is bad today. And part of yoga practice is training ourselves to frame that differently, to say, I could say my balance is off or more challenging today. That's truthful. Truthful in a way that isn't diminished in my thoughts. So I just offer that for you. As you're practicing, notice your thoughts. And if there's any thought that comes in that somehow holds your body or holds you less than, see if you can turn it. If there's another way you can say that's truthful without diminishing. So that's my invitation for you today. Befriending the body in our practice. It's quite powerful to do, and it has very positive ramifications beyond the mat, beyond, we say, yoga off the mat. So sitting with the spine lifted and lengthened, lift through the crown of your head. Try to touch the ceiling or the sky. So if you're outside, wherever you're watching this, lift and lengthen, keep the breath flowing. See if you can, in your lengthening, grow. Right? Sometimes the discs in the spine begin to collapse because we're not lengthening. We're not using the energy to lift and lengthen the spine. So as I do that, I consciously relax the shoulders down, chin parallel to the floor, belly relaxed. Sometimes when we're concentrating, we stop breathing. So I'll just remind myself, breathe. Relax the belly as you lengthen the spine. And notice the feet. Maybe wiggle the toes a little bit, wiggle the fingers, bring awareness to the legs. Part of befriending is joining, becoming aware. Where is my body today? What am I noticing? So let's take a few more breaths in and out. Seated in a neutral pose. This is Vajrasana. And then we'll flow into movement. Inhale up, expand the arms back, arch the spine slightly. And then exhale forward, keep the hands moving in front of the body. Come forward, release, surrender, let go. Moving at your own pace, inhale up. Really notice the whole body as you move, and in particular the spine. How does it feel as you stretch up and expand and arch back? How does it feel as you come forward? Surrender, releasing the head and neck, and release, arms out to the side. Now as you move, you can pause in either direction if you like. So as you come up, you can just kind of reach towards the sky, looking upward, expanding. And if you're pausing in this position, keep the breath moving. So don't hold the breath. And when you're ready to go down, go forward, same thing. You could pause there and keep the breath flowing. Surrender, release, drop the head and neck, arms to the side. A few deep breaths in and out. And we'll come up one more time. Inhale up and exhale, arms down. And then bring the hands to rest on the thighs and notice any changes in just that simple movement. Let's practice side to side stretch. So reposition yourself in your seat if you need. We can inhale, left arm up, and you can use the leg of the chair to support you. Reach to the side and rotate the head and look to the sky. Lengthening through the body as you stretch and reach. And inhale up and exhale down. Let's pause for a moment. Just readjust and we'll go to the other side. And so one thing I want to mention, as I was stretching, my body started to just go a little further and further. And that's part of keeping yourself engaged and dynamic, right? Just today, that was what my body wanted to do. I could have stayed where I was, that felt good, but going a little further because the inner guidance to do that was saying, man, my body can do that today and would like to. So inhale up, I'll talk about it as I'm practicing. Lengthen, hand to the leg of the chair. And then I rotate to look to the sky and I'm reaching through the fingertips. And I can really, in my body, feel the stretch at the base of my hip joint, going all the way alongside the body through the fingertips. And my right hand is just coming lower on the leg of the chair, noticing that happen. And it helps now. I'll just go a little bit to the floor, because I can reach that and it feels okay. I often don't do that. But today, the body is, I guess, more open in that area. And so keeping the stretch dynamic, that feels good. Inhale up, exhale down, and hands resting on the thigh. And take a moment. For me, because I just stretched very deeply, I really want to take a moment, let the body readjust to that. Nice, okay, so let's come up into standing, and I'll bring my chair to the side, and let's practice circle of light, circle of joy. So this is another opening of the upper body, hands at the heart. Inhale, fingers interlace, elbows lift up. Exhale, hands move out in front. Now you can practice this seated in a chair, you don't have to stand for this. Inhale up. Lift and lengthen. Let's take a moment and really reach to the sky. Feel the soles of your feet pressing into the earth as the palms of your hands reach upward. See how relaxed you can be in your body as you also stretch. A few more breaths in and out. We'll inhale, exhale, arms down. This is light and joy, using the mind to visualize light and joy. The hands come behind the back or toward each other. Interlace if that works for you. And then bring the hands back just as far as is comfortable. Try to keep the chin level to the floor. Again, we'll hold this for a few breaths. See if you can feel a sense of dynamic energy in the stretch. If I were to bring my hands towards my body, I would lose that. For my body, it wouldn't feel dynamic. Moving away from the body, oh yes, it's a challenge, but not too much for my body. Release and exhale, arms float, palms together, hands at the heart. Okay, let's step the feet slightly apart, side to side stretch. You can use the back of your chair for support if you like. We'll inhale, left arm up. Exhale over, sliding the hand down just as far as is comfortable, and rotate the head to the sky. Breathing into this. See if you can notice the difference in this sideways stretch from being in the chair. What you're aware of, without overstretching. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's pause for a moment. The legs can be in a wide stance, or you can bring them hip width apart, which would be Tadasana. Deep breath in and out. If you're using the back of your chair, turn or bring your chair to the other side. If not, we'll inhale, right arm up. Lengthen, slide the hand down the leg as you reach, and rotate the head to look to the sky. Breathing deeply. Generally speaking, we keep the eyes open for balance, but if you feel really stable, you could close the eyes. Inhale up. Nice. Exhale down. And pause for a moment, maintaining wide stance. Very good. Let's come into a wide stance forward bend. I'm going to turn my chair. Now this is a pose you don't need to use the seat of the chair for, but it's nice. So I'm going to offer you that, but I'll let you know you could bring your hands to your feet or to the floor if you like. Nice wide stance. Lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. Hands are on the thighs. Exhale, neutral spine forward. So I come about a quarter to halfway. It's a nice deep stretch for the back of the legs, extending through the spine. All the way to the base of the spine. I draw energy then to the point between the eyebrows. I'm looking down towards the floor as I'm reaching back with my tailbone and reaching forward with the crown of my head. That reach, that lengthening helps to keep the upper body dynamic, right? The back of the legs feel pretty dynamic because I'm coming forward. So how do I keep the upper body engaged? I reach to the tailbone and the crown of the head. This is the active phase. Coming into relaxation, the hands can come to the chair. You could also have forearms on the chair. Release head and neck. I move back a little bit. What we're doing now is really relaxing. So not trying to be in that quality of dynamic, but more surrender. You could even bend the knees a little bit. We are still fully present and engaged with relaxation. The affirmation is, I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. Deep, full breaths in and out. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. You can bend the knees a bit more, then use the strength of your legs to bring you back up. Let's walk the feet in. Come back, bring the legs to about hip width apart, and we'll come into Tadasana, standing mountain pose. Just adjust your body in any way you need. Eyes can be open or closed. Try to relax the whole body while lengthening, lifting and lengthening. So kind of two things happening at once. Very nice. Let's practice Vivekadevī, the tree pose. So I'm going to use a bolster for height and also the seat of the chair. I'll stand first on my left leg, and I'll bring my right knee up and bring that against the leg. Now, if you could also use the back of your chair and be standing, using that as support. So it's up to you. And I'm going to, again, lengthen, try to feel that sense of nice long length. Hands can be here at the heart, or you can inhale them above you. Breathing deeply. The affirmation for this pose, I am calm. I am poised. I am calm. I am poised. Tuning into the qualities of calmness and poise. I am calm, I am poised. To come out of the pose, we'll exhale if the arms are above you, around to your side. Bring the foot down. Let's pause. Into Tadasana, standing mountain pose. Sometimes it helps to shake out the body a little if you want. Deep breath in and out. Okay, so I noticed as I was practicing that the best way I can say it is, which is part of what I was talking about, is on this side. So I'm just going to say, I know once I was in, I didn't want to distract from the asana. So this is part of what we practice. Is it better to stay in and then find another way for it to help it be dynamic. Closing my eyes helped. What I want to say is it was a little easy for my body, so I wasn't challenged, as I often am. So some days it's that way. If I was on my own, I would probably have come out of that pose and maybe turned it the other way. Now, each side of the body's different, and it's often best to do the same to one side as the other, because then you're going to have a more balanced experience in the muscles. So I'm going to practice the same thing this side, and I'll bring this knee up, come into position. Because the height is exactly the right height, I can't really lift my foot up. That would have been something else to try, but it didn't work. So just want to mention that for you, because we're talking about how to stay dynamically engaged. So lift and lengthen through the crown of the head, hands here. Or you can lift them above you or bring them out to the side above you. It's just a different way to experience that upward lift. The gaze of the eyes is lifted. Eyes can be open or closed. I like to visualize being in a forest, and the sound, there's a quiet quality to being deep in the forest, or a meadow with tall trees. Just a sense of how to feel that calmness and poise that trees offer. I am calm. I am poised. Belly relaxed. I am calm. I am poised. Lengthen and exhale down. Very nice. Let's come into Trikonasana, the triangle pose. Move my chair a little bit here. And move my bolster. So we've done a lot of nice warm-ups for the side of the body, and we've stretched out the legs, and that can help with Trikonasana. So first what we'll do is we're going to come into a wide stance. You want to make sure that your hand can reach the seat of the chair. So I might come slightly closer, or maybe just bring the chair a little bit closer to me. So nice wide stance. Turn the left foot out. Bend the knee a little and line it up with the instep of the right. And you want to be wide enough in your stance to help you turn over. Make sure your feet won't slip out. So sticky mat can help with that. So lengthen through the spine. Let's inhale, arms up, palms together. Reach, turn the hands towards the front. Exhale down to shoulder height. And then tilt your hips as you reach with your left arm. And the arm is above the head. I'm kind of reaching towards the sky, breathing. I like to go slowly with this. And then slowly come over to the side. If you're using the chair, you can place your hand there. Reach the other arm up, or you could bring it down towards your hip. And if it's comfortable, you could rotate the head to look to the sky. Trikonasana, the triangle pose. The affirmation, energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Visualizing yourself in a waterfall of dynamic, joyful energy, flooding every cell of the body. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. A few more deep breaths. When you're ready to come out, you'll inhale up, bring arms back to shoulder height, exhale, arms down, and pause in a wide stance, both feet coming forward. Just let your body kind of readjust and tune into what that was like for you. And then we'll go to the other side. So turn the right foot out. I often walk the foot away a little bit, bend the knee, line that heel with the instep. You can keep the knee bent just a little as you bring the torso back to the front and then straighten the leg. Kind of helps with alignment for the hips. Inhale up, palms together, lengthen the spine. Then turn the hands towards the front and exhale down to shoulder height. Tilt the hips as you reach. Take your time, and as I'm reaching, what I can feel is a stretch here in the leg. So I'm letting that guide my movement. I'll get to a point where I feel like that's enough, and I'll bring the hand to the chair. Now you could also have the hand on your body with the chair just nearby if you need it. I like the stability the chair offers. Reaching the hand up. And you can be on fingertips or come down to the palm of your hand. Just play that. Play your edge, what's right for you. Again, rotate the head to the sky if you like. Visualize that waterfall of joy. What does that feel like? To be flooded with joy. Deep, full breaths in and out, welcoming abundant, joyful vitality. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. See if you can affirm that with a power of belief. Swami Kriyananda said that is happening in this pose. We are being flooded with energy, joyful energy here. And then we'll inhale up. Arms back to shoulder height. Turn the feet in and exhale, arms down. Stay in the wide stance for a moment. And then let's walk the feet in or step the feet in and come into Tadasana, standing mountain pose. You can kind of rise up on the balls of your feet and come back down. And just take a moment to notice the body. Very nice. Let's come into downward facing dog using the seat of the chair. So the way that we practice this, I find it easier to bring my hands to the chair first and then walk my feet away. So here I am lengthened, hands are on the thighs. I exhale forward, bring my hands to the seat of the chair. Now my feet are too close to the chair for downward dog, but once my hands are here, I can walk them back. And I just keep walking until I feel like I can bring the body into position and then release the head and neck. The back of the heels could be off the mat if you like. The knees could be slightly bent. Just find the pose that's right for you. And breathe deeply. See if you can notice in your body what's engaged in this pose for you. The legs, the arms. How's the heartbeat? Is this challenging at all? Is your breath changing? See if you can breathe with a sense of, in this case, dynamic relaxation. That's an interesting combination in this pose. It's challenging, it's demanding, it's strengthening, but it's also profoundly calming. The affirmation is calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. See if you can sense that happening. Waves of calmness. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Now we'll walk, to come out of the pose, we'll walk towards the chair. Inhale up and pause for a moment, standing mountain in Tadasana. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Very nice. We'll come into camel pose, Ustrasana, and as a reminder, you can practice this. Actually, let me do this. Let me bring this here. And just noticing time. So what we're going to do instead, lift and lengthen through the body as we began today. Exhale forward, Surrender, release. Inhale up, lift and lengthen, and exhale, arms down. Palms resting on the thighs. Om, peace. Amen. Okay, great soul. So good to be with you today. Thank you for joining me for chair yoga. Let's send out some light and blessing to all. Om.